Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will learn overview of stock transfer between plants or cross-plant stock transfer. In case of plant-to-plant stock transfer, the plants between which material is transferred can either belong to the same company code or to a different company code. As a general rule, cross-plant stock transfer can only be done for unrestricted use stock. That means we cannot transfer materials from plant to plant for quality stock or bulk stock. That is a very important point. Next, a plant to plant stock transfer affects financial accounting and material requirements planning. Okay, how does it affect? Since first of all, we will see how does it affect financial accounting. Since each plant has its own valuation area, the stock transfer between plants affects valuation of the material, and therefore once the stock is posted, it creates an accounting document for the material document. Further, the stock transfer is valuated at the valuation price of the material in the issuing plant. Okay, so since we are issuing the material, okay, from the issuing plant, okay, the material is definitely valuated at the valuation price in the issuing plant. Next, in case of a cross company code stock transfer, two accounting documents are created at the time of posting, one for each company code. The offsetting entry to the stock posting is then made to a stock clearing account. Okay, that is about the financial accounting. How does it affect financial accounting? The second point is it also affects material requirements planning. How does it affect material requirements planning? We will know now. A change in the plant stock is taken into account by MRP. Okay, because MRP is planning of the material requirements. So whenever the stock level of a material falls, okay, then the MRP will come into effect immediately. Okay, so now when we are transferring stock from plant to plant using two-step procedure, and if the stock is just removed from the issuing plant, then the stock will remain in stock in transit and it will not be available till the stock is placed in the receiving plant. Okay. So because as soon as we remove the stock from the issuing plant, it will be in stock in transit and it will not be available as a unrestricted use stock in the receiving plant. Okay. But in case of plant to plant stock transfer using one step procedure, the stock will be immediately available as soon as it is received in the receiving plant. Okay. So when we have issued the material from the issuing plant using the two-step procedure, okay, the stock will be in stock in transit, but it will not be available in the receiving plant. Okay, hence when they check the MRP, when the MRP when they run the MRP, that time the stock will not be in the receiving plant. Hence that is MRP cannot be done correctly. That is the reason it affects the MRP. Okay, so we should not keep the stock in transit for a long time, and we have to make sure that we have received the material in the receiving plant. Okay, so that it will not affect the material requirements planning. Okay, that is about the how does it affect the financial accounting and material requirements planning. Now, what are the procedures to transfer the stock from plant to plant? We have three procedures. The first is one step procedure, second is two-step procedure, and third is using a stock transport order. Okay. So what are all these, three procedures? First step or the first procedure. So it is one step procedure. So how can we, transfer material from one plant to another using one step procedure? So you will learn it in a very simple way. In the one step procedure, the goods issue and the goods receipt are posted in a single step using movement type 301. Okay. When posting the stock transfer, we enter all the relevant data, such as material number, quantity, issuing storage location, receiving plant, and receiving storage location in one step. Once posted, it will create a material document. Further, when we transfer the material from one plant to another plant, valuation of the stock takes place. This is because both plants have different valuation areas. Hence, once the posting is done, it creates an accounting document for the material document. Okay, so this is the important point. Okay, next, how do we, that is, transfer the stock from one plant to another using one step procedure? Okay, we will do it using the MIGO transaction code. So we have to go to MIGO, select transfer posting other, select moment at 301, input material, issuing plant, issuing storage location, receiving storage location, quantity, enter and post. Okay, so that will post and create a material document for the transfer of the stock from, that is, issuing plant to the receiving plant. Okay, I will show you that in quickly in MIGO transaction code. Okay, let us, go to SAP system here. Okay, let me go to MIGO. See what we have to do. MIGO. So we have to select transfer posting other, and immediately, we have to select the moment one step, plant to plant one step. Here we can see here moment at 301. Okay, select moment at 301, enter. See, we have to input the material number. Here, issuing plant, issuing storage location, destination we can see here. So, receiving plant, receiving storage location, quantity, enter, check and post. Okay, so that is how to, do the stock transfer from plant to plant using one step procedure. Okay, coming to the two step procedure, plant to plant, two step procedure. Okay, so here, in case of two step procedure, first, in the first step, material is removed from the issuing plant using movement type 303. Then, when posting the goods movement using MIGO transaction code, you must input the material, issuing plant, issuing storage location, receiving plant, and receiving storage location. When we remove the material from storage location of the issuing plant, valuation of the stock transfer takes place. Hence, once the posting is done, it creates an accounting document along with the material document. Further, once the material is removed from storage location of the issuing plant, the stock is displayed as stock in transit. Okay, once we remove the material from the issuing plant, stock is displayed as stock in transit. Okay, this is one important point. Next, how do you, okay, we have just now removed the material from issuing plant. Okay, now how to place the material in the receiving plant? To place the material in the storage location of the receiving plant using MIGO transaction code, we have to input the material document created in step 1 as reference. That is the material document created after removing the material from storage location of the issuing plant. Once the material is placed in storage in receiving plant, accounting document is not generated for the material document. Why? This is because valuation is already done when we had removed the stock from issuing plant in step 1. Also, once the stock was issued from issuing plant, the stock became stock in transit of receiving plant, and when receiving the material in receiving plant, the system will read only receiving plant. In short, in step 2, valuation will not take place and it will not create accounting document for the material document, because already the valuation is already done in the step 1 of the two step plant to plant stock transfer. Hence, when we are doing the step 2, there is no question of any valuation of the material. Also, one important point here, if we display material document created when issuing material from issuing plant, we can see issuing plant and receiving plant. Hence, valuation took place and accounting document is created. Our accounting document was created. But if we display the material document created after receiving the material into receiving plant, we can see only receiving plant. Hence, valuation does not take place and no accounting document is created. This is a very important point you should know. Okay, next, how do we, do the two-step plant to plant stock transfer? Okay, in the step number 1, what we do? We go to MIGO transaction code. Then we select remove from storage, other, movement type 303, input the material, issuing plant, issuing storage location, receiving plant, receiving storage location, quantity, enter, and check and post. Okay, how do we do it in step 1? We will go to this one. Here, MIGO transaction code. I am already in the MIGO transaction code. we will select remove from storage. Okay, here select other. Here we have to select see 303. It has already come 303. Transfer posting plant to plant remove from storage. Okay, select movement type 303. Then input the material number, issuing plant, issuing storage location, and in destination, receiving plant, receiving storage location. Here put the quantity, enter, check and post. Okay, that is how we have to remove the material from issuing plant. Next, step number 2. How to receive the material in the receiving plant? Me go select place in storage and reference as material document which is generated after posting the step number 1, because we know that as soon as we post the step number 1, it will create a material document. So that material document we have to input as reference when we are doing the step number 2. Okay, I will show you. Go to the here Migo transaction code. Here step number 2, place in storage material document, put the material document and just enter. Okay, then the system will, as soon as you put the material document of step number 1, okay, and enter, the system will automatically select movement type 305. Enter, check and post. So step number 2 is also done, and that will create a material document, and no accounting document is created. Okay, in this step number, okay, only accounting document is created in only step number 1. Okay, for the material document of the step number 1. Okay. Next, stock transfer, the third one. Stock transfer between plants using stock transport order. Okay, how to transfer stock from one plant to another plant using STO or stock transport order. Okay, so here this type of stock transfer involves both inventory management and purchasing, because here we are creating a STO which is created by purchasing department or buyer. The process begins with the creation of a stock transport order by the purchasing department. A goods issue is done with reference to the stock transport order using movement type 351, and material is issued from the issuing plant. Okay, once the material is issued, it is stock in transit at the receiving plant. Finally, the goods receipt is posted against the stock transport order at the receiving plant using movement type 101. We can post the received stock into unrestricted stock or stock in quality inspection or block. Okay, so in case of a that is STO, that is if we are transferring stock from one plant to another using STO, so at the time of receiving the material in the receiving plant, we can post the material into either into either into unrestricted stock or quality stock or block stock. Okay, this is an important point we should know. Next, how to display the stock in transit. The stock in transit is shown in the material master record in the plant stock view for the receiving plant. Okay, we can go to the plant stock view, select in the MM03 and put the material number and the receiving plant, and we can show the stock in transit. And in the other way is also, we can run the special report for analysis of transit stock. Okay, in inventory management under environment stock in transit using MB5T. Okay, so here if you go to the SAP screen here, okay, let me take you to logistic, material management, inventory management, environment. Here here stock in transit MB5T. Okay, this also by using MB5T also you can uh, show the analysis of the transit stock. Okay, and further, very simple way to display the stock in transit is using stock overview transaction MMB and also warehouse stocks using MB52. Okay, so these by using these two transactions, okay, we can display the stock in transit, and these are the very simple transactions. Normally, we used to display the stock in transit. Okay, okay. Next is goods issue from issuing plant. How to do the goods issue from the issuing plant? So here for the stock transfer between plants using STO, the first step is, the purchasing department will create a stock transport order. Okay, once the stock transport order is there, what we had to do, we had to go to the MyGo transaction code, select goods issue purchase order. See here, how to issue the stock. Here, go to MyGo. Let me go to MyGo. See, goods issue, select goods issue purchase order, input the STO number, enter, Okay, system will, display the material, quantity, everything. Okay, everything, whatever is there in the STO or stock transport order, just, enter, check and post. Okay, step one is done. Okay, goods issue. Okay, then how to receive the material in the receiving plant? To receive the material in the receiving plant, okay, we will receive like a normal purchase order using the MIGO transaction code. Go to MIGO transaction code, goods receipt, put the purchase order or the STO. Then moment type will system will automatically select 101, confirm the quantity, check and post. Okay, so here go to the MIGO transaction code. Normal, it is a normal goods receipt against a purchase order. Goods receipt, purchase order, put the purchase order or the STO number, enter. Okay, just the just confirm the quantity, check the quantity received, check and post. Okay, that will create a goods receipt material document for the STO. Okay, so this is about the overview of the stock transfer between two plants. Okay, in my next videos, right, we will take up, that is all this in details with exercises, practical exercises, how to transfer the material from plant to plant using one step procedure, and how to transfer the stock from one plant to another using the two-step procedure, and also using the stock transport order. Okay, so see you in my next videos with these exercises, which are very important. Till then, we will, have a break. Thank you for watching my video, and soon, we will meet in the next video.